So how did you two enjoy the flight that director Thomas Menem set up for you?
I can't say that I understand the reason for such a flight, but it was perhaps the most magnificent setting for a party I've ever seen. We must certainly book it for this very weekend.
Hear, hear. Be floating in such an unusual fashion creates so many brilliant possibilities. The only downside to the whole adventure was the way Thomas disgraced himself.
We had hardly imbibed several alcoholic beverages, and there he was, retching into a sack. He didn't even have the dignity to remove himself from our presence for such uncouth behavior.
Not everyone can handle reduced gravity aircraft right away. Purpose of the flight was to see if you two got motion sickness. You have to be able to handle the weightlessness for the Richard III adaptation that Thomas is planning. As much as I enjoyed said flight, I fail to see what it would have to do with the bod. Thomas wants to make a film version of the play set in outer space. That's why he had to see how well you two handled Zero-G. I told you all this before you left.
I can't say that I understand such a bizarre concept, but if it involves such a sublime setting, then let the party begin. We're back. Now, you two have said in the past that partying is an essential part of your acting technique.
Absolutely, Jimmy. In fact, it's been essential for one of the next films to be shot inside one of those, Zero-G airliners.
Indeed. Once you've mastered the bedspins after a really tremendous party, the, flippity-floppity of said aircraft quite simply pales in comparison.
You know, a really decent party will have much in common with one of these space endeavors, right from the blast-off until the crash-down.
A decent party? Of course, one must be indoctrinated into such things in order to build oneself up. Rare is the person that survives such galas unscathed.
True, true. Takes a certain stamina for the debauchery of a really decent affair.
But what does that have to do with acting? Good sir, it's what separates thespians from mere actors.
I thought you were all for doing this picture, especially the weightlessness part of it. Sir, when you spoke to us about the upcoming film project, we assumed the verse of the bard would not be mangled.
It is heresy, sir.
I told you that they're setting Richard III in outer space in order to attract a new audience to Shakespeare.
A shuttle? A shuttle? My kingdom for a shuttle?
It becomes tripe. One will notice how the computing device outweighs our acting concerns.
It is so very noted.
Well, there may be no film, it seems. The Zero-G plane was rented out for the weekend by the two of you and destroyed in a wild, weightless party. I would say that it was rather high mark in our partying career.
Ah, such a wonder is Zero-G debauchery.